Welcome to episode 2 of Road to Powerlifting America Nationals 2025. My name is Chris Perez, and in this video we're going to be doing two things. The first thing is we're going to be giving you a tour of my home. So I live in an RV, and I'll go into more details later on in the video as to why I made that decision. And second thing, we're going to be doing the end of block review. This is the second block after my SBD Raleigh meet, and I'm going to be going over how the block went, changes going forward, and giving you just a little bit of insight into my training. So without further ado, let's head outside and start the tour. All right, so here is the site from the front. So basically all of this is mine. It's rented. So right here, you walk on this little path. So the tree, all of this is mine. So this is the trailer. I'm going to step back a little bit so you get a little more scale for the size of it. But that's it right there. It's a 38-foot travel trailer, which is on the bigger side for travel trailers. I wanted something that was going to be pretty big so it felt comfortable to live in. This is some outside storage that I have. It runs all the way to the other side. So there's just a bunch of stuff in the way, but this is full of chairs and coolers and all kind of stuff that I need. There is the bedroom door that I never use, some more storage, and then I've got these little outside patio chairs and stuff like that. This is another cool feature of this one in particular. It has an outdoor kitchen. So you open this, so it's got this little mini fridge, which I have not even used yet, but I could use it. And then here I've got an outside little sink. I've got a connection for water there. Same thing, I don't really use this that much, but I've also got an induction stovetop right there. It's a little dirty from the last time I used it, but I can cook outside if I don't want to cook inside. It's just hot here all the time, so I tend to cook inside most of the time. All right, so here is the main entrance, which goes into the living room. This is the entrance I go through every day. Open it, and then here we go. So I'll do a quick walkthrough of each area, and then I'll kind of just stand in each area so you can see the scale of the size of everything. Right, so I've got the couch here. This is basically my closet. Got the dinette area here. TV with some storage there. I've got the fridge and freezer, sink, some storage down there, microwave. I have a burner. I have a stovetop here with 3 burners and oven. That's my little boy right there, just chilling. Bathroom, sink. This opens up, it's got a little storage behind it. Here is the shower and the toilet. And then bedroom with a standard house queen bed. Now I'll just go through each individual area and talk a little more about each area. All right, so I hope you can see me, but I'm all the way in the bedroom in the corner over here. I'm on the edge of the bed. There's about another 6.5 feet, a little bit more than that, to the actual wall where the bed touches the wall. But just so you get an idea of the length of it, I think for a lot of people that don't know about RVs and trailers, this will give you a good idea of just how big it is. This is a 38-foot trailer, so this is on the bigger end. There are some bigger ones, of course, but this one is on the bigger side. And so you get an idea of just how long it takes to walk from one end to the other. Like I said, there's another 6.5 feet or so that way, but I'm on the edge of the bed. This is the last point where I can actually walk besides this little tiny area where there's like closet space. But right from here is roughly how long it would take for me to get all the way to the end. So this is the closet again, where I have all my clothes and all my stuff. All right, so standing in here just so you get an idea of the scale of it. This is a barn door. Closes all the way. Okay, this model is a bunk house model. So really what this is for is if you want to have a bunch of people sleep over, if you have kids or something like that when you're on vacation or whatever. I don't have the need. It's basically me in here most of the time, so I don't need all the extra beds. So up here and over here, there was originally a bunk bed on each side, so you could sleep one person on each side. Down here is a big long leather couch. So on this couch, it actually opens up and becomes a queen bed. You can comfortably sleep 2 people there, but I don't have a need for it. So I just got like clothes and baskets and all kind of stuff. My gym stuff is here. And I basically use this as my closet. I have a clothes rack here, laundry, bookshelf, and then I got all my shoes up here and some storage up here up top. A couple of cabinets there, cleaning stuff. I essentially use this as my closet. It's a second bedroom technically, but I don't have a need for it, so I use it as my closet. And that's one of the main reasons that I picked this model in particular, is because I needed extra space for my clothes and all my stuff. And a lot of models just don't come with space to store things. So this one luckily came with this whole other room that I'm basically just slowly converting into a closet. So here you can get an idea of the space on the couch. So you can comfortably fit 2 people here, and you kind of scoot over. You can probably fit a 3rd person pretty comfortably here, just to watch TV. It's usually just me and my girlfriend and my dog, so fits perfectly just like this. All right, now this is actually a pretty cool part of this trailer. Another reason why I like this one a lot and picked it. So here's the TV, got my PlayStation, got some storage in here, the fireplace, which is fully functioning, which provides heat and light. I don't need the heat because it's super hot here in Miami all the time. So if I ever want to take it up north somewhere when it's cold, this will be helpful. But for the most part, I'm not going to be using it. So now to show you what I wanted to show. So this is pretty cool. This is a pantry, essentially. This is meant for food. That's what it's meant for. I don't really have a need, and I don't have that much food. I have plenty of storage in other spots to put dry food and cans and stuff like that, and I just don't have that much food in general. So I'm using this as another extension of my closet. So a lot of my clothes is in here, my t-shirts, my gym clothes, pants and shorts, a lot of the stuff in here, and just some miscellaneous storage stuff that I have down here. So this is another really nice piece of storage that comes with this trailer. All right, now for the kitchen area. So you get an idea of the scale here. Sink, got a drying rack, ice maker, coffee maker. Here's the stove. This folds all, I've got some stuff in the way, but this folds all the way up, and then it comes out. So I can cook here with 3 different burners going at the same time. There's the oven and some additional storage down here for pots and pans. Storage here, and then here is with where the laundry. Here's where the trash goes. Microwave, fan that turns on, and additional storage here and here. I'm not sure if you can see it from this angle, but up here there's a skylight. Brings in a lot of good natural light. I installed this little Velcro cover thing to block out the light, because at night, there's actually several of these skylights spread out through the trailer. It produces a lot of light comes in, and I can see it in the bedroom, and it kind of bothers me a little bit. So I covered all the skylights. During the day, I open this up, I get natural light in. At night, I close it so that when I wake up in the morning, the light doesn't bother me. But yeah, that's basically it. Fridge and freezer are here. This area you'll be seeing a lot because this is where I film when I'm talking into the camera. But this is where I sit and do my work. So here on my laptop, I charge it right down here. Or when I'm eating, I also sit here. A lot of times I'll just get that TV. It has a swivel, so I'll pull it out, turn it towards me, and I'll watch TV as I'm working or as I'm eating or something. All right, so this is the bathroom. The bathroom is right in between the general living area and the bedroom. So it's from here to here. It's got a door on each side that closes. So if you want to completely close yourself in the bathroom, you can. Sink, storage here, so storage here. Another one of those skylights I was talking about right here, and then another one in the shower. Toilet. Now I'm standing in the shower just so you get an idea of the scale of the shower, just how big it is. This is relatively small, but it does the job. It's pretty good. The water pressure is nice here. This closes so that the water doesn't spill out. And here's the bedroom. There's a little bit of space on each side of the bed. This is where Bear sleeps, on the floor there. So a little bit of space and some closet space on either side and up top. But this is just a regular standard queen bed. So whatever if you have a queen bed in your house or your apartment, that's the size that this is. One more cool feature that I'll show you. With most RVs, or a lot of them, they have this kind of bed. You can lift it up, and you've got some additional storage down there. I've got just like some sheets and just random stuff, pillows down there. All right, so now that we're done with the RV tour, I'm gonna just briefly touch on the reasons why I decided to go this route over getting a traditional, apartment or something like that. First reason, the financial incentive. It is a bit cheaper to live in an RV depending on where you live. In Miami, where the housing market is terrible and everything is super expensive, it's definitely a little bit better. It's probably comparable to getting, a cheap apartment in a not so good area, but definitely cheaper than getting a decent apartment or in a decent area. So I didn't want to go that route and live somewhere that I felt was unsafe or necessarily pay a lot more to live in a better area. And so this was always an option for me. My parents and my grandparents have been going camping for years. They've had RVs for a long time. And so I spent a lot of time in them. And so I knew, roughly what it was like to live in one, for a short period of time, weeks, a week or two at a time. And so I knew that it would be an option for me and that it's something that I would probably like. Now, the next thing that I like about it is that it's very, very easy to just get up and go and move somewhere else if I really wanted to. Everything that I own is basically here. It's in the RV, it's in storage, either down there or in all the different parts of the RV. And so if I ever want to get up and just move, all I gotta do is hook up the truck and just drive to wherever I want to go and live in another place like the place that I live in here. It's a much easier moving process than physically living in an apartment or a house and having to move. And so I like the freedom to be able to get up and just go somewhere else if I really want to. Especially considering that I don't plan on living here in Miami forever. At some point I'm probably going to want to move, and so it'll be a much easier move process for me than for somebody who lives in an apartment and has to just go through that whole thing. Now, another reason why I really liked it is because I have my own physical space and I'm not really sharing a building or walls with anybody else like you would in an apartment. I didn't really love the idea of sharing walls or just living in a building with a bunch of people. I wanted to have my own space, my own area. And so here I have an actual piece of land that I'm renting that's mine. And I have my trailer on it. And everything around it is rented and it's mine. But, I have grass, I have that outside area with chairs. And so if I want to invite friends or family and cook outside or hang out, I have an outside space that is mine. And I'm also not sharing walls with anybody else. I'm not really that close to my neighbors, which I like. And then another main thing, which kind of goes off of that same reason, is that I was going to find it much easier to live in a place like this where I go down 3 steps and I'm outside and I can walk my dog and I'm not really worried about going through a lobby, going down elevators. I walk him several times a day, and so it was going to be much easier for me to just do that rather than live in an apartment. So that's basically, in a nutshell, the main things that I liked better about this over getting an apartment. I could have gone out and done that, like most people do, but I actually preferred to do this. I thought this was a better, cooler option, at least in my opinion. And, I think it's something that's different. It's out of the ordinary. And I also like that. That was also attractive to me, that it's just something a little different. So that's basically it. Those are all the reasons why I decided to go this route. So thank you for watching this portion of the video. Now we're going to be talking about my training. So that is the other main theme of these videos. I'm going to be talking about the block that just came. I'm now on week 1 of a new block, so I'm going to be talking about the previous one. And every video I'm going to be talking about the previous block and just how it went all the way up till 2025 Powerlifting American Nationals. And so without further ado, let's just dive into it. This block, like the last one, did not go exactly how I would have liked or how I would have hoped. There's various reasons why that may have been. I'm dealing with a couple of minor injuries, but things that are affecting me a little bit, kind of rehabbing certain things. My ankle's been hurting. We think that I may have sprained it. And so it's been hurting for months, but now it's starting to hurt a little more when I squat. So I'm kind of going through a rehab process. I'm recently just switched to wearing heels temporarily. We'll see how that works out. We're making some necessary changes to try to, fix some of these issues and get a little bit more on track. For the most part, my training is pretty much completely unchanged. There's just very minor things, load management things, adding in the heels, stuff like that we're trying. And so things are not 100% ideal, but it is what it is. That's kind of the nature of this sport and competing at a high level and wanting to push your body to do things that it wasn't capable of doing before. The block started out fine. For the most part, everything went fairly well and actually better than last block. I've hit some heavier numbers on my secondaries, and by the time I got to the primaries, I attempted to take the high end of the range on everything. This was a block of doubles, so I was supposed to do some heavier doubles. The plan for squat was a 275 to 280 kilo double at the end of the block. So 606 to 617. It's actually supposed to be fairly conservative. I've actually done 280 kilos for a double before on squat, and it wasn't that hard. It was probably around RP 8. I probably could have done 2 more reps on that day, which I was feeling really good on that day. We felt that 275 to 280 was a pretty fairly heavy, but still conservative load for the end of the block. Unfortunately, there were some circumstances in the day, just leading up to the session that weren't super optimal. I won't bore you with the details of that, but it wasn't the best. It wasn't the best day just leading into that session. And so on the day, as I was warming up, I felt fine. I felt okay, not super strong, but not super weak either. And decided to take the top end of the range. Only did 1 rep and didn't attempt the second one. Looking back at the video, I might have been able to take the second rep. I can grind fairly hard on all 3 lifts, but I just really didn't want to risk doing that and either hurting myself or missing the lift. Towards the end of blocks, when I try to force something that may not be there, sometimes I'll tweak my back or something, and then for a couple weeks I'm hurting. So, I probably could have done the second rep, but I don't regret not taking the second rep because I knew what it eventually could have caused. So I think that was a smart choice. Took the single. It was what it was. It was still 10 kilos more than last block and probably moved the same or better than last block. So not a complete loss, still relatively, a win for the day. Bench came around. Unfortunately, the type of person that I am, when squat doesn't go well, a lot of times the other lifts don't go as well. Obviously, there's a mental component to that, but I also think I'm just not as primed on the other lifts as well. I think they all fit really well, at least for me. They all go together really well. When one is really good, they're all good. I kind of was trying to motivate myself for the rest of the day, but I kind of knew that it was not going to be the best day after how squat went. So bench, I took 195 kilos, 429 pounds. That was the top end of the range, and it was fine. It was okay. I've definitely moved that much better than that. I wasn't like I said, in the best position on the day, but it was okay. That was a win because I actually did hit the top end of the range. I was supposed to do a single, and that's what I did. Now, going into deadlift, I was kind of hoping that deadlift, similar to last block, that it would kind of redeem the day and that I could hit the top end and then, feel really good about everything just overall. Unfortunately, I was really tired, really gassed by the end of the day. Like I said, I felt that I was not super primed on the day for what I was supposed to do. I took my last warm-up, which was 595, 270 kilos, and it moved fine, not great, not bad, so I kind of knew what position I was in. I was also kind of gassed and tired, and so I knew that if I took another warm-up between my top set and the last warm-up, I was probably not going to have a lot of gas for the top set. So I made a decision, which I've never really done before, but I took a whole plate jump, a 50-kilo jump from 270 to 320 kilos. That was the top end of the range. That's what I wanted to hit on the day. I think the jump was actually okay. I kind of surprised myself that I was actually able to take the jump, but the deadlift just didn't move that great. And so same thing as the squat. Looking back at it, I probably could have attempted the second rep. I might have gotten it, maybe not. But I don't regret not taking it because, like I said, I didn't want to hurt myself. I didn't want to generate all this fatigue from forcing something that just wasn't the right time for it. Knowing that this upcoming block I have singles and we're going to push a little harder, hopefully. I just wanted to set myself up to feel better this block. So I don't regret the decisions I made on the day, but I am a little disappointed with the outcome of the day. Now, like I said, I won't bore you with all the details, but overall, training has been kind of middle of the road, not terrible, not great. And then on the day, there were circumstances leading up to it that it just wasn't an optimal day or time for what it was. And so that's basically the recap of the block, right? Everything else leading up to it, from week 1 all the way until week 4, was pretty good up until the last day, and which I would say is kind of a midday. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that great. Still overall probably better than last block. I performed a little bit better, lifted heavier weights overall. So I am building momentum and kind of getting my groove back. I've been in a little bit of a funk with training, but that always tends to happen before really good training comes after it. So a lot of times I'll have a couple, 2 or 3 blocks that just kind of average, not really moving great. Maybe even more than that sometimes. And then I tend to have a few really good blocks where I make a lot of progress, hit some bigger numbers. And so I think the next upcoming macro cycle is going to be really good. I'm just going to take what's there this upcoming next block, same as the last 2 blocks, and then set myself up to do better in the next round, the next 12 weeks to come after that, where I do another round of triples, doubles, and singles. At some point, my training is going to turn around a little bit. We kind of dial things in. Marcellus and I had a call recently, and we talked about some different changes that we're going to make to the program, things that we think are going to help me. Very optimistic that things are going to feel a little better. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, subscribe to the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.